Scott and Angie Robichaux. We're just here to tell you a little bit about our giving experience. When we first got married, it was actually pretty easy because we were both working. We were actually making pretty decent money. But shortly after that, Angie decided to go back to school to be a school teacher. So all of a sudden, our income was cut in half. And we had to make some tough decisions. And I think at the end of the day, we realized that we were going to keep giving as a priority, and we were going to leave everything else to God. We were going to trust in Him that He was going to provide for us.
Both of our girls, we feel like were gifts from God because they were both adopted.
We basically always tried to demonstrate for them that giving is a good thing, but it's really their decision. I mean, for us to tell them they have to give X percent, it really kind of takes the joy out of it.
When the girls were little, we did a little exercise where we gave them 10 pieces of candy, and we had 3 cups, and we had them label the cups, and we said, this is yours, and this is God's, and this is things that you should save, and tithe meant a tenth. So we said, okay, you're going to give God one of those pieces, and we're going to put one aside for savings, and look at all the ones you have left. If you'll give God that one, and if you'll save some for later, then God's going to trust you with the other 8. And I think that was very visual for them as well, to see that God doesn't ask us to give Him everything necessarily, although all of it is still His to begin with. But for a little kid's perspective, they could see that God only asks us to give Him a portion of what He's given us already. Well, maybe you might need a cup. I was thinking as adults, we might all need to have those cups and be reminded that when God asks us to give first to Him, He always leaves us plenty. Before we were in this auditorium here, we were in the shelter, and I remember Brother Greg starting a campaign to raise money for a new sanctuary because we had outgrown the sanctuary we were in. And growing up in church, I just remember, okay, when someone says building fund, everybody sort of cringes and runs away. But Brother Greg said something unique to challenge us to give above and beyond our regular tithes and offerings. And so he gave us all, and we couldn't remember if it was a paint stick or a stake. Brother Greg challenged us to not just think of it as building a new building, but that we were investing in families that were going to be using the new building in the future that moved into Kingwood. But he said, write 4 families on this stick, and that you would like to see attending this church maybe in the future, or even just symbolic of the families that are going to be in this church in the future using the new facility. And so we did that, and he brought us all out to where the new auditorium is now, but it was just grass and trees at the time. And we all put our sticks in the ground and we prayed for those families. And I just remember that meaning more to me than it's not just a building fund. It's now that I'm investing into the future of families that are coming to our church. And so I could almost visualize, if you're sitting here now and you weren't here at that time, then this investment that we made as a family is for you. What is really cool is, you may not know this, but all those stakes that we wrote names down on are buried in the foundation of this building. Yes, it was a little bit of extra because we had to give a little, we chose to give extra, but it was worth it in the end because now we have this beautiful facility that is home to a lot of families. It's a church home to a lot of families who have moved in since that time.